right, if everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Can we have a roll call?
Michael Cashman.
Present.
Thomas Wood.
Here.
Martin Mannix. Absent. Meg LaFave.
Here.
Barbara Hebert.
Present.
Ricky Collins. Absent. James Coffey.
Here.
Wait a minute. Can you go through all the employees in the town? No, that's good job.
Do you want
Good
to introduce yourself?
I'm pretty sure they know.
job. On TV? No.
Thank you for pinch hitting for Ricky while he's gone this month. So,
He does a great job.
all right. Resolution 17-161, approve minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of June 8th and June 15th be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
LaFave. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Martin Mannix. No. Meg LaFave.
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes. Resolution does carry. Resolution 17-162, the abstract.
Resolved that the abstract of audited claims number 7A-17, 1110-1231 for $550,977.56. Abstract 7A-17, 212-262, prepays for the amount of $810,010.95 be received as reviewed by the audit committee and supervisors, hereby authorized to pay said abstracts.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert. Is there a second?
Second.
LaFave. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Meg LaFave.
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes. Carries. At this time, I wanted to make sure to go and open. Is there anything for public comment this evening?
Since I'm the only unfamiliar face, I'm Karen Durasha.
Come on.
I'm Karen Durasha from the Health Department, and I just came because I know you have the resolution on your agenda for the 221. And I'm here representing the Health Department and our local coalition in case you had any questions.
Fantastic.
Great, thank you.
When we get to that, we may
Yeah, just-
defer to you and see if there's anything that you want to add to it. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you so
you.
much.
Yes, thank you.
Are we there?
Well,
No.
not quite yet. Do you have anything for public comment this evening? Okay. So just wanted to make sure the abstract has passed. Okay. Resolution 17-163, community partnership between the Town of Plattsburgh Recreation Program and the Clinton County Youth Bureau Swim Program and Recreation Program.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Parks and Recreation Department would like to further community partnership and enter into an agreement with the Clinton County Youth Program to strengthen existing cooperation and further develop activities focused on recreational opportunities for the residents of the Town of Plattsburgh. Now therefore it be and resolved that the Town Board, upon approval of the Deputy Town Attorney and insurance carrier, does hereby authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement for swim service program on behalf of the Town of Plattsburgh and the Clinton County Youth Bureau for services as attached. And it is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Clinton County Youth Bureau, Pool Agency, Finance Manager, and Parks and Recreation Department.
I'm just going to add one section to it. After the swim program, it's going to be and recreation program.
In the title?
In the title and also in the second resolved. Mel provided that as a late update. So, okay. Is there a motion?
Yes.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Hebert. And the last thing that I just want to draw your attention to is we have the deputy attorney review this material because Jim also works for the county, so just so everybody is aware of that. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood.
Aye.
Meg LaFave.
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
And Michael Cashman.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 17164, accept CBPH Foundation donation and 2017 budget amendment.
Whereas the town's Parks program recently received a donation from the CBPH Foundation of $1,150 to fund fitness in the Parks program, and whereas the town needs to amend the 2017 budget to reflect the change in revenues and appropriations, therefore be it resolved that the town accepts the donation from the CBPH Foundation to fund fitness in the Parks programs, and be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh authorize the following budget amendment. General fund, increase the revenue A-.0000.2705, gifts and donations, $1,150. Increase appropriation A-.7310.4000, contractual expenses, $1,150. To increase revenues for donation from CBPH Foundation to fund fitness in the program Parks. Also increase appropriations due to the addition of programs funded through the CBPH Fitness in the Parks donation. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and the recreation and youth service director.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
LaFave.
Second.
Wood. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Mannix, Bank of Lake,
Yes.
Barbara Heber.
Yes.
Michael Cash.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 17165, 2 million gallon water tank.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh is planning to construct a 2 million gallon water storage tank adjacent to the existing storage tanks at what is referred to as the Kimberly Lane Tank Farm, and whereas with the assistance of engineering consultant LaVerge Group, Albany, New York, the town has prepared a short environmental assessment form and supporting documentation for the project, and whereas in accordance with the provisions of 6 NYCRR Part 617, the town board conducted a coordinated review with the involved agencies to serve as lead agency for the SERQA review of this unlisted action. And whereas there was no objection by the involved agencies to the town board being lead agency for this project, now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby designates itself as lead agency. Be it further resolved that the town board hereby determines that the proposed action will have no adverse environmental impact, and that the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign the required SEQRA documents to acknowledge same.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood. Second.
Seconded.
Heber. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Michael Fave,
Yes.
Barbara Heber.
Yes.
Michael Cash.
Yes, the resolution does carry. Resolution 17166, 3% site plan return deposit for TDC Industrial Boulevard Shared Facilities Site Plan 2016.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh Planning Board has reviewed and approved all requirements of the TDC Industrial Boulevard Shared Facilities Site Plan 2016, and whereas the planning department has coordinated inspection of said project and reports, all requirements have been met and completed. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to release said deposit in the amount of $5,699 plus accrued interest to date. And it is further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be forwarded by the planning department secretary with the return of deposit to the Development Corporation.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
LaFave, is there a second?
Seconded.
Heber. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg Fave,
Yes.
Barbara Heber.
Yes.
Michael Cash.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 17167, resignation of Sandra Laterrell as planning board member and chairperson.
Resolved to receive and place on file, effective July 1st, 2017, a letter of resignation from Sandra Laterrell as a member and chairperson of the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Board. And be it further resolved that the supervisor, on behalf of the town board, send a letter of appreciation thanking Mrs. Laterrell for her years of past service to the town and wishing her well with her future endeavors. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Trevor Cole Planning Department head.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
LaFave, is there a second?
Seconded.
Heber. Any discussion? Seeing none.
Just that, the reason for her resignation, she's moving out of our area. She's done a good job of being on that particular board.
Anything further? All right, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
Michael Cash.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 17-168, appointment of planning board chairperson.
Whereas a vacancy in the planning board for a chairperson, and whereas Tim Palmer is willing to serve as chairperson for the planning board, therefore be it resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board does hereby appoint Tim Palmer to the planning board as chairperson effective immediately. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the planning department head and a certified copy also be given to Mr. Palmer. And be it further resolved that he take an oath of office within 30 days of this resolution.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
LaFave, is there a second?
Second.
Wood, any discussion?
Yeah, do you need another oath if he's already on it? As a permanent member?
It's been, when I went back before, I had seen that in some other ones, so I think it's been rather inconsistent over the years, so.
Okay.
There's no harm.
Yeah, there's no harm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Tim step up to the plate, transitioning. It's an important role, and I think he takes his job seriously on that planning board, so that's it.
One of the things that I will offer, and you'll hear this a couple times this evening, is since I've been in the supervisor seat, I've really been trying to reach out to members of the board as well as the department to talk about who should be filling some of the vacancies. And there really was a great sense that Tim would serve well in this chairperson from members, as a facilitator. So with that, I'll be endorsing it. Any other comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barbara
Yes.
Hebert,
Yes.
Michael Cash.
Yes, resolution does carry. Resolution 17-169, Planning Board Member Appointment, Maureen Fosher. I screwed that up, but I'm okay with that.
Whereas Maureen Fosher is willing to serve as a planning board member, therefore be it resolved that the town board of the Town of Plattsburgh does hereby appoint Ms. Fosher, a resident of the Town of Plattsburgh, to the planning board as a regular board member for a term to expire December 31st, 2024. And be it further resolved that Ms. Fosher take an oath of office within 30 days of this resolution, and the supervisor send a letter of appointment and appreciation to Ms. Fosher. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the planning department head and a certified copy also be given to Ms. Fosher.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
LaFave, is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Aye.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barbara Hebert,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes, resolution carries. Resolution 17-170, resolution to support raising the minimum legal age for tobacco products to 21 years of age.
Whereas the percentage of adult cigarette smokers in each county in the North Country exceeds the U.S. and New York State percentages, New York State Department of Health, and whereas the percentage of North Country young adults 18 to 24 who smoke cigarettes exceeds the U.S. and New York State percentages, New York State Department of Health, and whereas more than a quarter of North Country males ages 18 to 24 smoke cigarettes, New York State Department of Health, and whereas approximately 96% of smokers begin smoking before the age of 21, Surgeon General, and whereas smokers frequently transition from experimentation to addiction between the ages of 18 and 21, Surgeon General, and whereas the younger age of initiation, the greater the risk of nicotine addiction, heavy daily smoking and difficulty quitting, Institute of Medicine. Whereas electronic smoking device use among minors has recently tripled, Centers for Disease Control, and use of electronic smoking devices is associated with and may encourage the use of conventional tobacco products, JMA Pediatrics. And whereas raising the minimum legal sale of tobacco products to 21 years of age would decrease tobacco use by 12%, Institute of Medicine. And whereas 3 of the top 5 leading causes of premature death in the North Country are cancer, heart disease, and chronic lower respiratory diseases, all closely associated with tobacco use. Between 2012 and 2014, these causes of death resulted in a total of 2,039 premature deaths in the North Country, New York State Department of Health. And whereas the counties of Albany, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, Cortland, Orange, Schenectady, Suffolk, Sullivan, and Tompkins, and New York City have increased the minimum legal sale age for tobacco products to 21. And whereas there's a strong support among New Yorkers for prohibiting the sale of tobacco products to people younger than 21. 68% of the adults and 60% of adult smokers who were surveyed support raising the minimum legal age, New York State Department of Health. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Board on July 6, 2017 endorses the objectives of raising the minimum legal sale age for tobacco products to 21 years of age.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Fave, is there a second?
Second?
Wood, is there any discussion on this?
Does this need to be sent to what kind of board of legislators?
What I was going to suggest is that we add that to this resolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should it go anywhere else?
Really, because it's county-based, I would
Yeah.
say that would be sufficient. I know we do have a representative. I don't know if if you want to share anything, you certainly are not required or have to.
Yeah, I really think that within the resolution itself, a lot of the talking points are there. So I just wanted to be here tonight in case you had any questions.
It's such an important topic. I was talking to Michael. I decided to talk to a lot of people the last couple of weeks just to get a sense in the community. So it's one of those topics that is important, and I think we made strides in our own township to promote healthiness in terms of the parks and things like that. But the people that I talked to, there were some very mixed reactions to how this is all coming out and playing out. So, but it's important.
Yeah, you know, if you look back at some of the actions the town has taken over the last several years, you know, we have tobacco-free parks, and we've updated it in relation to vaping, et cetera. I think this certainly falls within the same spirit. For those at home, I think it is important to know that the town, by this action, is not stopping the sale. Right now, that's for the county legislators to consider, but I think this is an action that will hopefully inspire them to reflect upon it and to give it some further study and consideration for a number of things. But, you know, there's lots of opinions out there, and I use this as one of those examples that not everyone's going to agree with that decision, and, you know, I certainly stand behind this particular item. Sure.
Michael, do you know if any other towns in the county have passed resolutions?
I think
The city has.
the city has, and I believe what you're going to see is an approach to other towns. There tends to be, by way of city, goes the county, by way of the town of Plattsburgh, goes the county. So, given, I would have actually had this resolution before us earlier, but with the holidays and a couple of other things, it's really why it's falling the way it is in our you know, kind of schedule of things. So, yep. Anything else? All right. I will ask for a roll call then.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Michael Fave,
Yes.
Barbara Heber,
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes. Carries. Thank you for being here tonight. Resolution 17-171, authorize the highway superintendent to enter into an agreement with Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Whereas the Clinton County Water and Soil Conservation District is in the process of acquiring a trailer-mounted vacuum excavator, and it will greatly benefit the town of Plattsburgh in alliance with the shared services agreement with municipalities in Clinton County. And whereas the highway superintendent does support collaboration on this project to assist in further preventing pollutants in waterways, and is willing to work with Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation with this project. And whereas it is hereby determined that it will be the in the best interest of the town of Plattsburgh to be party to such shared services arrangement with Clinton County Water and Soil Conservation District, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Plattsburgh Town Board authorizes the town of Plattsburgh supervisor to enter into an agreement with the Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation District to execute all documents necessary, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the town highway superintendent and the Clinton County Soil and Water Conservation District.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert, is there a second?
Second.
Wood, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Michael Fave,
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes, the resolution does carry. Resolution 17-172, petition for zoning map amendment.
Whereas by resolution 17-38, the town planning board did make recommendations to the town board for consideration regarding the development of multifamily housing in R2 residential district of the town. And whereas after thorough consideration and deliberation, the town board proposes to make the following amendment to the town zoning ordinance. Revise Schedule A use regulations, removing condominiums and multifamily dwellings from uses subject to site plan review, and adding them to the list of uses subject to special permit review. And whereas pursuant to Article 13, Section 17.3, all proposed amendments originating by petition or by motion shall be referred to the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Board for report and recommendation thereon. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the town board does hereby refer said proposed amendment to the current Town of Plattsburgh zoning ordinance to the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Board for report and recommendation in accordance with Article 13, Section 17.3 of the Town of Plattsburgh zoning ordinance. And be it further resolved that the planning board shall submit its report to the town board within 45 days of receipt of such referral in accordance with the provisions of said zoning ordinance. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the planning department and planning board chairperson.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert, any discussion? I want to just offer a brief comment. This is an item that will go through several steps, being referred to the planning board and then back with public hearings, et cetera, et cetera. And I've used this metaphor before that the way that I see this item working is that we are adding one more tool to the toolbox. In our toolbox, we have the hammer, we have the wrench, we have, the needle nose plier, and we also need the Allen wrench, which is a much more specialized tool. This may not be something that's used often, but we want to make sure that it's in the toolbox. So it's just a specialized tool. And I think that can be very helpful to the planning board and the town overall. So
This will be the Allen wrench amendment?
it could be yes, we're not like Congress. We're not going to get really special with all these meetings. So without further ado, can I get a roll call?
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes, carries. Thank you. Resolution 17-173, alternate planning board appointment.
Whereas a vacancy exists on the planning board for an alternate board member, and whereas Debbie Blake is willing to serve as an alternate board member, therefore be it resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board does hereby appoint Debbie Blake to the planning board for a term to expire 12/31/2019. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the planning department head, the chairperson of the planning board, and a certified copy also be given to Ms. Blake. And be it further resolved that Ms. Blake take an oath of office within 30 days of this resolution.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second?
LaFave, is there any discussion? I certainly would like to add a comment. I want to give a little bit of history to this, as I had kind of highlighted previous to some of the planning board. I really lean on the idea of members of our planning board making recommendations for people to serve on the board. And one of the individuals on that board made this recommendation. I then explored it with Debbie to see if there was an interest before I went to the council members to see if there was consideration. And I'm very sincerely and very pleased that she's willing to step up to the challenges of serving in board service. I think you have an immense amount of understanding and will complement the spectrum of knowledge of that board, and look forward to having you as part of the ultimate town team.
So could I say in full disclosure that the next meeting is on the 18th, and my 93-year mother, who broke her hip and her shoulder, is being released from rehab that day, so I will not be able to go to that meeting.
Well, that's why we have the alternate, so make sure that, the next meeting, you
Just so
might.
you know.
Fully understand, but I wanted to publicly thank you for, especially where you're here. If any other candidates, I would do the same, but I appreciate your willingness to step up to the challenges of the board service. So,
My pleasure.
Thank you. Any other
Thank
comments?
you.
All right. Seeing none, I will ask for a roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
Michael Cashmore.
Yes, and before I close on that, I do want to add for public comment that I spoke with Mr. Mannix, and if he were here tonight, he would have voted in the affirmative. So that was unanimous. That would have been a unanimous vote. Seeing nothing further, unless there's a need to go into executive session that I don't know about, I would ask for a motion to adjourn at 6:25 p.m.
So,
Hebert, LaFave, and can I get a roll call?
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Meg LaFave.
Yes.
Barbara Hebert.
yes.
Michael Cashmore.
Yes, carries. Drive safe, folks. Thank you.